Yo, my people, damn, CFC, Riddis Blue, back with another video. Match preview settings, man, and it's the match preview for the Ipswich versus Chelsea game in the Premier League tomorrow. Kickoff is at 3 p.m. if I'm not mistaken, but during my watch along from 2 p.m., man said 3 p.m. The match kicks off at 7:45, and during my watch along from 6:45, and we can discuss the team news, get my reaction as the game goes on. You can see the match day post that I will be putting in the chat. Not even just on the chat, but in terms of the what's the thing called? You know what I'm trying to say, in the community tab as well as on Instagram, Twitter. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave any thoughts and opinions you have down below. Vote on the poll if you think Chelsea will finish in the top four. Leave any questions in the Q&A, whether that's your predicted exercise or whatever, and help me get at least 1,000 views on this. Help me get as many likes on the video as possible. We already have 3 likes already. Love to everyone who's already liked the video. If you haven't checked out the match, the Chelsea news update that I done earlier, check that out. It's already been uploaded in regards to Alexandre Isak as well as Liam Delap. So you guys stay tuned for that and look at that. But now it's time to preview this game against Ipswich. And as you can see from the title, I've said that Chelsea can't afford to drop points. We can't, especially because today Nottingham Forest have won. We are now sitting fourth in the Premier League table as things stand because of their win. And Arsenal most likely win. Liverpool are currently winning right now as well. So yeah, man, it's a must-win game for us because if we lose, then we can allow teams like a Newcastle, Bournemouth, and Aston Villa to come in and try to do something against us. So personally, I don't want us to drop points. None of us do, but it could happen. And Ipswich, they are at home. We should be beating them, of course. Sorry about this. We should be beating them, of course. We should be beating them. But personally, you can never know. We should have won our last game, but we didn't. So personally, you should never know what can happen in this Premier League, especially with the fact that we have injuries as well. Let's be honest, we got our injuries as well. So let me just get into the match day post. As you can see, make sure to join the watch along tomorrow as well from 6:45. I'll be going live at 6:45. This is the match day post. 2 seconds. So yeah, this is the match day post. Check that out. Enzo Shushin, you better win, man. You better. 7:45. Our last game of 2024, man. The last game in 2024. We have to win this match, man. Have to win. Have dropped points in our last 2 games. 5 points dropped. We've allowed other teams to get around us, but we cannot allow it. But we have to just wait and see. The Chelsea fan base right now, there's some people that are already criticizing Enzo Maresca and all these kind of things, but I'm someone who believes in Enzo Maresca and believes in the team. Just personally, I believe in the team. I've been saying since we beat Brentford that we will be getting top 4. I said at the start of the season, I know my team can get top 4. And we've been in the top 4 for at least 11 out of the 18 game weeks so far. We're halfway point tomorrow. Will be our 19th game. We'd have played every single Premier League team. And yeah, man, we need to get this dub. We must get this dub. Oh God, we must get this W, man. But as you can see, that's the match day post. And now this is our head-to-head stats with Ipswich. Going through some, obviously, as well as this, I will be going through some match facts as well. So stay tuned for that. And let me just get this up. Might as well open bare tabs out here. Bare tabs. Man's got a lot of things, but yeah. Why isn't this coming up, man? I've actually opened up too many tabs, but yep. This is the head-to-head stats between Chelsea and Ipswich. So this is our head-to-head stats in the last 3 games. So we have won 7-0, whenever that was. We beat them 3-1 and we drew 0-0. In our entire history, Ipswich have only beaten us 9 times. We have beaten them 26 times. And looking at the form guide, they have won 1 of their last 5, losing 4. while we have lost once, drawn once, and won the other three. So as you can see, we're in much better form. Hence why going into this Premier League weekend, just us. This is not the official Premier League table, but this is the Premier League table going into match week 18. I mean, yeah, going into match week 19. This is it. So as you can see, Ipswich are sitting 19th in the Premier League before today was kicked off, and then we are third. Currently, right now, we are fourth due to the fact that none of Forest have won their game. They are ahead. So now we are back down to fourth. Ipswich are 19th, minus 17 goal difference, 12 points. They have not been having a great season, but this is what you expect from a promoted side. This is a team that's very young. They got even got Kieran McKenna as their manager. Like, it's not going to be easy for them. They have some good quality players in Omari Hutchison, Calvin Phillips. They even got Liam Delap, who's even mentioned in the Chelsea News update from earlier. They have some promising young talents, but it's the thing where it's like we have a young squad, the youngest squad in the league. We have a young team just like them, but we have a lot more to prove. We are aiming for bigger and better things. They're trying to stay in the Premier League. We are trying to make sure that we stay in the top four. And even though after this week, regardless of what happens, whether we win, lose, or draw, we will still be in the top four regardless. But teams like Newcastle could catch us up. Bournemouth have already dropped points today, so we don't have to worry about them. So in that aspect, but we must continue getting these W's because it's been what 2 games since we last got a win. Before that, we went on like a 12-game unbeaten streak. We need to get back on those kind of things. Winning 5 Premier League games, like we were the second team to do that this season. Now, Nottingham Forest have done that as well. We need to pick up the pace. The man them need to be on job. And I'm not going to sit here and just say that it's down to the team because I mean, not down to just the team, but we have our injuries. You got guys like McCallum Mudrick who's been injured. You got guys, I said injured. He's been suspended following his doping thing. Reece James, Benoit Badiashile, Wesley Fofana, all injured. Romeo Lavia has been injured or not playing for the longest time, the last 3 or 4 games. And he's massively needed in this team, massively needed in terms of the balance in regards to our defensive prowess. When we can play someone like a Caicedo who could invert, and then you allow someone like Enzo Fernandez to move up into the field, that makes it better for us to not only defend but attack a lot better. When we have Malo Gusto, he's learning a completely new role. He's having to move into like a number 10 position, the left half space, or on the right hand side, or he's been playing left back. Like he's been all over the place. But people are going to criticize Malo Gusto. He's learning a brand new role. Last season, all he had to do is focus on right back, going up and down, attacking and defending. Now he has to learn when to move, where to move, the right time to go in the left half space as a number 10, arriving in the box. Like he's doing a whole lot more. And for a guy who isn't even, well, he's about 21 right now at the max, he is a player who can develop and he has way more years to go until he reaches his prime. Maresca is doing a massive thing in teaching him in these new roles. That's what he's doing. He's teaching him in these mad new roles. And this is what we need. Because if we're trying to elevate to eventually become Premier League title challengers in the future, we need to be able to play guys in bare different positions and make them feel comfortable in it. It's not going to be comfortable to start off with, but as the season goes on and next season comes, Malo would have done much better to master this kind of thing. So that's just what I'm saying. And obviously, in terms, like I said, in the Premier League table, we have to win this game. We have to. We have a team who's doing the utmost, and we got guys like Cole Palmer and Nicholas Jackson, who's been doing very good this season. But in the last couple of games, we haven't been scoring too many goals freely, and we need to get back on this scoring run because we have scored bare goals this season. But with the way our attack has been moving the last couple of games, it hasn't been as great as it would have been at the start of the season, in my opinion. Obviously, I watch every Chelsea game, so I can have my thoughts and opinions on that because I literally see every single match in the Premier League or in the Conference League or in the Carabao Cup. So for me, I know how he was playing at the start. The last couple of games, maybe it's because there's so many games in December. The most times Nicholas Jackson, Cole Palmer have played consecutively in 3 or 4 days, or like 3 games in 11 days. This is the biggest period in the Premier League season. After this, it's not going to be so compact because you're not going to have to play 9 or 10 games in the league in any other month. After this, guys will be playing FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Champions League. We'll have the Conference League, but be able to rest guys like Cole Palmer, Nicholas Jackson. So for me, this is a must-win game, and the man them the attack especially to do a lot because our defense, even though people have been criticizing it, I know people are gonna sit there and say, "Oh, Sanchez, why did he do this? Why did he do that?" Like we're gonna be making mistakes. We all know. I have been saying it. Robert Sanchez is not a player who hold on. Robert Sanchez is not a player who, for me, is going to be someone that can help us win the Premier League. I was saying even to my friends, if somehow he was able to win the Premier League this season with having Sanchez in goal, Maresca deserves all the praise. No one could ever say anything because I didn't believe that we could win the Premier League with Sanchez going into the season. But now we definitely, because Liverpool are doing their thing and we've dropped 2 games. Title challengers don't necessarily do that in back-to-back games. They definitely don't lose. And that's why we can't afford to lose. Because even though we're not title challengers, we need to stay in the top 4. We have to. This is the biggest thing. Champions League football is the biggest aim. Even though we have to win the Conference League, we must get top 4. That is more important for me because we will always be able to come back and win trophies. You've had seen many other teams go on better, bigger, dry spells in terms of trophies. United went 5+ years without a trophy. Arsenal 9 to 10 years. So it's like we've seen big teams go on not that great of what's the thing called cup competitions, titles, all of these kind of things. But we are not like that. We are the most decorated team in like the last what 20+ years. That's us. We are the London's finest. We are London's greatest. That is us. Like for me, that's the most important thing. And that's why I say top 4 is the most important thing. People can criticize us to talk about Conference League, like we should be winning that, but you never know in football. Even though I expect us to win, I'm not gonna say I don't expect us to win the Conference League. We will, but if somehow something happens, if we had to ask me to say if we could pick one or the other, I would choose to be in the top 4 rather than win the Conference League. Top 4 is the biggest thing for us this season, and we need that, man. We need that so much. And obviously, I already showed you the head-to-head stats. Now I'm going to show you some match facts that's going to make this game even more interesting. So now, just look at this now. Let me get this up. So 2 seconds. Let me just get this up for you guys. So yep, there we go. So there you go. This is Premier League match facts. And obviously I got this from One Football as well. So look at this. Ipswich versus Chelsea Premier League match facts. Ipswich have won just one of their last 14 games against Chelsea. Chelsea have played more Premier League away games without ever winning against Ipswich than they have versus any other opponent. Though 4 of their 5 visits to Portman Road have finished level, losing once. Ipswich are unbeaten in their final league game in each of their last 4 calendar years, winning twice, drawing twice. They've won their last 2 such games in the Premier League, beating Spurs 3-0 in 2000 and Sunderland 5-0 in 2001. Like, they've only won one of their last 14 Premier League games against us. That is not a good sign for them. But Chelsea have played more Premier League away games without ever winning against an Ipswich than they have versus any other side. Even though we've drawn 4 times and lost once, but even then, how is that possible? Like this is how you know that Ipswich have not been in the Premier League for donkeys because 2001, 2002, they haven't been in here for more than 20+ years. Before that, we didn't hit our peak in terms of like the Frank Lampards, the Didier Drogba's, all of these guys in the team, John Terry, Petr Cech. That was before that. Even though we were still winning cup competitions, we still had guys like Desai, we still had guys like Gianfranco Zola, Frank Leboeuf. So we've had a lot of talent, but Back then, we weren't considered one of the best teams in terms of Premier League title challengers or one of the greatest London teams for that matter at this point. But things have changed. Hopefully, we get this W because to me, to know that this stat has happened, that Chelsea have played more Premier League away games without ever winning against Ipswich than they have versus any other opponent. These things need to be rectified. Last game, we saw the stat. Fulham haven't beaten us since 1979. They finally done it. You you seen this kind of thing? Sorry about that. You see these kind of things they have versus like these kind of things have to come to an end at some point. And Ipswich are unbeaten in their final league game in each of the last 4 calendar years. None of those calendar years where you done that were you in the Premier League. So even though that's a good thing, hey man, I'll be real. Yeah, man. Well, it has been the Premier League, I should say. But yeah, man. I just be honest. We should make sure that we just get this done, man. Because these match facts, they could come to haunt us. Obviously, that's just from the Ipswich standpoint. I got some more match facts for you here as well. And here you go. We got this is the other side of the Premier League. Ipswich versus Chelsea Premier League match facts. As you can see, it's from One Football. Jay Sancho on the front. So look at this now. Chelsea are unbeaten in their final league game in each of the last 12 calendar years, winning 8, drawing 4. Since a 3-1 home loss to Aston Villa on New Year's Eve 2011. That's what I'm trying to say. We normally win our games on the last day. And the only time we lost was in 2011 to Aston Villa. That's the last time in the last 12 calendar years. We win or just don't lose on the final Premier League game during the last day of the year. So this is calm. And even then, when we lost at home. We are now away. And Ipswich, they are not the best sides. They do play good football. Any team in the Premier League is a good team. But we are meant to be better than them. So we need to make sure that we do not get another L like we did against Aston Villa back in 2011. And then you have Chelsea are unbeaten on all 5 occasions when they faced a promoted side in their final league game of a calendar year, winning 4, drawing once. Though the only time they failed to win was a 2-2 draw at Ipswich in 2000. This is the third consecutive year they finished with such a match. 2-0 versus Bournemouth in 2022 and 3-2 versus Luton last year. So in the last 3 calendar years, we have faced a newly promoted side. And against newly promoted sides, we normally do very well on all 5 occasions. But the one time we dropped points was against Ipswich back in 2000. A 2-2 draw. Like I said, that's before the times of Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard, John Terry, Petr Cech. This is before all of these kind of things. But we need to make sure that we just get this done because for the last 2 years, we have done it on the final day. So for me, we need to make sure that these kind of things happen. So I just can't wait to see this game because I just want to see the team play. I want to see us get 3 points. I want to see who is available because we need to make sure that we have the best possible team available. Whereas there's people in the community that will say that, oh, we should start Josh Achumpong or Akampong, I should say. Like, I don't think so in terms of this game because it's too much importance riding on it, especially after the fact that Nottingham Forest have just recently won. So personally, we shouldn't be making any mad changes. But speaking of changes or just predicted exercise, I've now done the match facts and the head-to-head stats. You guys can let me know. Now I'm gonna change it to to my predicted exercise. So let me get that up for you. This is my predicted exercise for our games. I didn't even send it to myself. Jesus. Oh, I did. This feels me bugging, man. But hold on. Let me just show you this 1 second. Sorry about this. I thought I already had this up, but clearly I didn't. My fault. My bad. Let me get this load up. Send that. So this is my predicted XI for the game against Ipswich. I've made 2 different ones just in case Romeo Lavia is fit. Just in case Romeo Lavia is team news. I need to show you guys the quotes from Enzo Maresca from his press conference. So this is what he had to say pre-Ipswich. So this is what he had to say on pre-Ipswich, yeah? For sure, after a game, you need to go again, no matter the result, especially this month. We have already played 8 or 9 games in December in 26 or 27 days. Now it's also important to recover the energy and go again on Monday. We never thought, and this way to say on losses this season, we never thought we would win every game. We lost on the 18th of August, and then after 2 months, and then after 2 months. So, but we know the reality is not just to lose one game every 2 months. It's a matter of how we react and try to go again. And that's the most important thing. That was obviously Cole Palmer, but that's the most important thing. We have lost the last game, but now we need a reaction. Man, them, when we lost the last 2 games, we had a good reaction. Now we come up against Ipswich. We can't afford to not have a good reaction. We need this as a team. We are a young team, but we need to build character. We need to build resilience. This is what this team is about. And this is what we need to make sure that we can go higher up in terms of the table. As well as that, we need to make sure that we can just elevate, because the most important thing is that the team gets better. We are not going to win the Premier League this season. And next season, we could be challenging. I expect us in the season after that at least to be winning the Premier League. In my opinion, that was my thoughts when once we got Maresca, and as long as we keep having Maresca, or with the way that he has the team playing, like, how is he not going to be here next season? And that's already a positive, because since Clearlake have come in, no manager has been here for more than 2 years, let alone more than a season. He is doing his thing. And unless we have a mad collapse in the second half of the season, even then, we should still keep him, because he's been doing fantastic. He has been elevating and making a lot of players better. He has been making Nicholas Jackson better, Cole Palmer better. He has made Moise Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez better. Cucurella has been in such a great form. I can't necessarily put that down to Maresca, but he's teaching him a new role and he's getting more out of him, as well as Levi Cole improving. Robert Sanchez isn't making as many mistakes or costing us goals as he was at this time last season. We are doing way better in this team. And it's thanks to Maresca and the way he has the team playing. So for me, like he says, we need to make sure that we react and try to go again. But this is what he had to say in terms of because he was talking about what's bro's name? 2 seconds. He was literally talking about where the hell is this course? 2 seconds, because where is this other court, man? G? 2 seconds. I need to go through it. This is what Cole Palmer had to say on the Fulham loss. Let me just show you what he said on the Fulham loss, innit? Because since I have it here, I didn't even show it before. So this is what he had to say on the Fulham loss. It's football, it happens. We lost control for 20 minutes and they scored. We were winning for the majority of the game, but to lose at the end is difficult. First half, we played well. We controlled the game. We had quite a few chances. Second half, we seemed to lose a bit of control. They are a good transition team. They like to run direct. So we got caught with their game and we paid the price. I don't think we lost energy or intensity. Like the manager said, we just lost control of the game. And we turned it into a game they are better than us at. We need to try and manage the game a bit better. Facts. That's what we need to do. Manage the game a bit better, innit? And also, this is what Maresca had to say in terms of pre-Ipswich. We will see if we make changes. We'll see if we make 1 change or 2 changes or 3 changes. Now it's a bit early, but for sure we are going to change something. And this we had to say on guys that had missed the last game. Kiernan, that means Drewsbury Hall, was injured. That's why he missed the Fulham match. Noni, Madueke, and Renato Vega was a technical decision. Noni, Madueke, and Renato Vega have been seen training, so they will be in the squad tomorrow. And personally speaking, like, Enzo Maresca and the way you're trying to handle your thing. Personally speaking, anyone that has a problem with how Maresca is trying to get his messages over to players, regardless of whether it's, oh yeah, you got guys that are saying, oh, he doesn't train hard enough, or someone would say he's training hard enough. We don't see these players every single day. Maresca does. He evaluates. No one, unless you're a player or at the training pitch every single game or at the training pitch every single training session, you cannot sit there and say that you know, oh, this person trains harder than the other person. You can't say that. So for me, I trust Maresca. Everything he's done this season has been way better for what we've seen during the last 2 years. So I trust him and his judgment on whatever that he does, because regardless of the last 2 years, he's been the best manager that we've had on the Clear League. It's a low bar considering that we've had Potter and Pochettino, but he is elevating that. And we are going to be in the top four again for 12 match weeks out of 19 for more than half the season. And that's 12 more times than we ever did the whole of last season. We wasn't even in the top four once last season. So, yeah, man. Noni and Ronaldo, technical decision. Kinnan was injured. Hopefully, they're available for the next match. But that's what he had to say in terms of like pre-Ipswich team news and such. So you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions down below on that. Now I'm going to show you my predicted XI for this game. And this is my predicted XI for the match going in to this match. I've made two different lineups just due to the fact that I hope that Lavia is fit. But because we haven't heard anything, this is what I'm saying for this game. And sorry, I'm looking at the screen. I'm not looking at necessarily the YouTube thing. So if you leave messages, I'll read it after. But I'm just going through this right now. This is my predicted XI. Robert Sanchez in goal. Right back, we got Malo Gusto. Centre backs, Tosna Rabayo, Levi Cole. Left back, Mark Cucurella. CDMs, Enzo Fernandez, as well as Moises Caicedo. On the left, I want us to play Jadon Sancho, Cam, Cole Palmer. On the right, Noni Madueke. Up top, Nicholas Jackson. This is my predicted XI, the team that I would play if Lavia isn't available, just due to the fact that I'm not putting Josh Akumpong in this game. I'm not. Gusto has not been as great as he was last season, but like I've said, he's learning new roles. Josh Achampong, I'm not trying to start him. I'm not, because we cannot afford to lose. If we lose with Gusto, then fair enough. But I don't want us to play Josh Akumpong in this game. Play him in the FA Cup when we play Morecambe in less than 2 weeks. Play him then. Play him when we're comfortably in top four and don't have to worry about slipping down the pecking order. Like, we can't be making too many changes, because if we do that, then we can still lose control. We cannot afford to lose control in this game. We need to dominate this match and score goals. I don't want to have too many changes because it can just make things more difficult. So this is what I would go with. But if we have Romeo Lavia fit, this is the way I'd want us to play. If Lavia is fit, this is what I would want. This is what I would want us to do. So if we have Lavia fit, I would personally play Moises Caicedo right back. Then we have Tosnado Rabayo, Levi Cole, Marco Correa, and then CDMs, Enzo, Lavia, on the left, Sancho, Cam Palmer, right, Noni Madueke, number 10, striker, Nicholas Jackson. This is what I would play if Lavia is fit. If Lavia is fit, this will allow man like Enzo Fernandez to move up into this position, and then Lavia can go across, Caicedo can come across, these guys can go across, form the three, and then they move there. We will move into a 3-2-4-1 formation, what we normally do when we have possession when we're in the attack. This is what we will do. And when we lose possession, if we do have transitions, Lavia and Caicedo have the energy, have the interceptions, they've shown it, and they can defend us, help us defend much better. Enzo Fernandez, he has been improving a lot, has been running a lot, but realistically, his best thing for us will most likely be going forward rather than defending. That's why we need these two. That's why Lavia is so key to this team. People really don't understand how key Lavia is to this team. No one, okay, I can't say no one understands, but he is so key. He allows Caicedo to tuck in, and when we don't have Reece James, imagine it. This time last year or 2 years ago, we'd be saying, "Oh, we need Reece James. We need Reece James." If we have Lavia on this team and we can put Caicedo in there with him in the pivot and move these guys up, it's brilliant. And this is just another reason why Maresca's been doing so much. Because throughout this whole entire season, how many times have we been saying, "Oh, Reece James, when's he going to be back?" We're not even too fast. And why is that? Because we have been doing much better. Much better. And that is a big thing for us. That is a big thing for the team. And I am just happy. Like I say, I'm happy with the way Enzo Maresca does his thing. This isn't my predicted side versus Aston Villa, by the way. I just didn't change the title. As you saw before, it wasn't that. So this is my predicted exile or a predicted exile for our game against Caicedo. But this is what I would prefer. But that's only if Lavia is fit. So yeah, man, that's just my thoughts and opinions. Noni Madueke on the right-hand side. He got left out of the last game due to training issues. He wasn't training hard enough. I had him in my predicted side for the last game, but he was left out of the squad as a surprise for me. He needs to go into this team. Pedro Neto, he is a good player, but with the one goal or one assist that you have during this Premier League season, you haven't been doing the utmost on the right-hand side. You've been doing well on the left, but Sancho has been doing his thing. He's added goals to his game, getting assists. Noni Madueke has been having the goals. He's been getting assists. He is doing his thing, and that's why I would put him on the right-hand side because I just feel like he's been doing more consistently better at providing goals and assists than man like Pedro Neto. And that is important. Goals and assists from the attacking players. All of these, man, you need to get goals and assists. All of you need to get that. We don't have to worry about Jackson and Palmer. They've shown it last season. These two or Pedro Neto, you need to show your worth. You need to show your worth and get more goals. We need guys that can get 10 plus goals and assists in the Premier League. That's what we need. And Madueke has at least 8 this season. So for me, he deserves to start personally. And then you have Sancho on the left. If he wants to play Neto on the left, I don't mind. People are going to be saying about why don't you play Joao Felix and that? Because Joao Felix isn't someone that Maresca rates, in my opinion. He would rather play Nkunku over him. Hence why Nkunku more time coming off the bench, way more in the Premier League than Joao Felix. That is fact. And the board wanted Joao Felix. Remember, Maresca, I don't think really wanted him too much. He was happy with the players, but the board clearly would want Joao Felix. Hence why even last year, Pochettino apparently was asked if he wanted Joao Felix. He didn't want him, but the board wanted him. The board wanted this kind of player because they feel that he has untapped potential and we can get this coach, Maresca, to get the best out of these players as he has done so far this season. Even Sancho, showing the form that he would have probably shown at Borussia Dortmund, playing the way that he was playing. This isn't a Sancho that we saw at Manchester United. So that is very important. And like I said, Joao Felix, I don't necessarily think he's a crap player, but I just think we have better players than him. And with Cole Palmer, I'm never taking him off. I don't care what no one tells me. I'm never taking off Cole Palmer. This is a guy that doesn't even play in Europe. He barely plays, and if he plays 3, 4, 5 times in a month, that is big for him. Because then when we go into next season, he knows certain things. He knows how to play. He knows different situations, how people are going to man mark him, and he can elevate. Because all he has to do is just do something different, and then they need to react to it. When you're on the front foot, it's going to be difficult to defend, especially once you know all the different situations that you've been in. And that's why, for me, I'm sticking with Cole Palmer and I will never take him off. Nicholas Jackson, on the other hand, he is someone that has been doing so great this season. And personally speaking, big you up, man. Big you up with your 9 goals and 3 assists so far in 18 Premier League games so far for us. You've even played 17, if I'm not mistaken, because you might have missed one match. So, yeah, man, this is what I would prefer to be our starting 11 going into the game tomorrow. This is what I would prefer, but I don't know if Lavia is fit. I doubt it. So hopefully, yeah, man, these things can change and we can see Lavia in the team because it just makes us more defensively solid and don't have to worry about transitions because last game, getting outrun by Fulham, that was big. We lost control of the game. With these two in the team, we can control the match, and that is important. And whenever Lavia has played, we have only lost to Liverpool and Manchester City. Other than that, we more time got wins. So we need him in this team. And obviously, there's no McCallum Mudryk. He would have been great in this team. Reece James, Wesley Fofana, Benoit Badiashile, all of these guys would have been much needed players. But these guys are not available. So this is the team that I would go with. You guys let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Do you agree with this predicted XI? Let me know down below. And now it's time for me to talk about man says predicted XI, my score prediction for tomorrow's game. Considering the match facts that we've seen, considering everything else that I've seen, I don't think it's going to be an easy game. I don't think it's going to be an easy game. We are a much better attacking team. Arsenal, they beat Ipswich only 1-0, but we are a much better attacking team than them. So I would say that we could definitely win 2-0. I'm going to go with a 2-0 score prediction for tomorrow's game. I hope we can keep a clean sheet, but we have to watch out for guys like Amari Hutchinson, Calvin Phillips, as well as Liam Delap. These are young talents that are out there hungry to prove themselves. And Hutchinson, we sold him to Ipswich. He could come back with a point to prove against us. You never know, because he could snap in a goal. You never know. They have a solid team, but they are 19th in the Premier League as things stand. We are expected to win, and we must win this match. We have to win this game. We cannot afford to drop points to Ipswich. If that happens, we get closer to talking about 5th place, 4th place instead of 2nd and 3rd, and that's what we need. 2nd, 3rd place. If we are worrying about 2nd or 3rd place for the majority of the season, that means we're just getting more comfortable in the top 4, and we don't have to worry about going outside of the top 4. So let's just see what happens there. But yeah, my score prediction is a 2-0 score prediction. Let me read what you guys have to say. Philip Godwin. I pray we get there on time. I don't even know what that means, but whenever is in the team there on time. Maresca should make subs if something not working tomorrow. That's a good point, but it depends on what the bench is. It really depends on what the bench is. That's the most important thing, because with the way our bench was last time, and let me show you the bench from the last game. Let me get that up for you guys. The starting 11 from the last match. This was it. Hold on. Thing's loading. 2 secs. Starting 11. Yeah, there it was. So this was our last starting 11 against Fulham. To answer your question about, obviously, talking about he needs to make subs. In the last game, the reason why he probably didn't make too many subs is literally just due to the fact that on the bench, Ali Jorgensen, Josh Akumpong, Desassi, Cassidy, Tyreek George, Mark Gu, Nkunku, and Joao Felix. He doesn't really rate the bench too much. As I was saying, our bench was Bettinelli, Jorgensen, Josh Akumpong, Desassi, Cassidy, Tyreek George, Mark Gu, Nkunku, Joao Felix. That was our bench. As Maresca said, you got Felix who plays in the same position as Palmer. I'm never taking off Palmer. Would you guys take off your best player? If Messi was moving at his best, would you take him off? Ronaldo, a Robin, a Ribery? Like, you have many great talents in teams, but we take them off? No. Cole Palmer stays on. I'm not taking off Joao Felix for him. The only person that I would consider to take Palmer off for is Nkunku, because he, for me, is better than Joao Felix, in my opinion. That's just my thoughts and opinions. But that's why you're saying that he should make subs. We need to have a bigger bench. It is on him to leave out Renato Vega. It is on Maresca to leave out Noni Madueke. If these two players were there, they would have come on, or at least Noni Madueke would have, personally speaking. But that wasn't the case. Guys need to make sure that they fix up and abide by the rules, because we're trying to set standards here. And Maresca, he isn't. I don't necessarily know him too. I don't know him personally, but I don't think he is an extremist like that. So the man them just need to make sure that they just come correct. Because when you're a top manager, you have to have standards. You have to be you have to discipline the players. And that's what happens. So if Maresca if Madueke and Renato Vega are on the bench tomorrow, which is expected because they were in training, then these are guys that you can bring on. We need defense. If, like I said, if Romeo Lavia is fit, that's just another person. And then you got Gusto that could come off the bench because we would probably play Moises Caicedo at right back and put Lavia in the midfield with Enzo. So then you could have Gusto as a sub. We need players fit. Like I've already said, McCallum Mudryk, he is suspended. He would be coming on. And people need to remember, he is the fastest player in this team. When we were lacking control and whatnot, if he was on the pitch, he would have been able to help. Because even if it's down to defending, he has the pace to get back. He has the pace to get up. I know that his decision making at times isn't the greatest, but when you talk about his physical attributes, that speed, it is important because no one else in this team comes close to having the speed that McCallum Mudryk has. No one. The likeliest person that you would probably have is Malo Gusto. But in terms of attack, there's no one that comes close to the sprint ability that McCallum Mudryk has. And that's why, for me, he is a big miss for me. And then you talk about Reece James, even though he's back in training. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks is back playing. Not Desassi, Wesley Fofana, Benoit Badiashile. These guys would be playing. And then you will have 5 substitutions and whatnot. So I understand your point when you're saying he shouldn't make subs if something's not working tomorrow. But it depends on what the bench is. But I'm expecting us to deal with Fulham. Man said Fulham. My fault. I'm expecting us to deal with Ipswich. So that's my thoughts and opinions. And like I said, just to answer your question about making subs work, this was the bench in the last game. He doesn't trust Felix. He barely plays him. And Kunku, he rates him. Everyone else, you're really going to be bringing them on. I'm not. The reason why people talk about Mark Gu potentially getting minutes is why are he scoring goals in the Conference League? That is the Conference League, not the Premier League. And we are playing in the mad cold environment. People don't understand. Do you think it's easy to go out and play in 5 degrees weather, 4 degrees weather in this country? You think it's easy? Like, people want to be sitting there saying about, oh, all of this kind of thing. It's like, you've never played. If you had have played, you would know how difficult it is. I'm not someone that's playing, but I'm not going to be someone that's saying, oh, all of these kind of different kind of things because we are not professional football players. We are not. If you have been, then you will definitely understand playing in cold conditions, not even just playing at professional, whether you're playing that as a little kid, 11 aside, 7 aside, or whatever. When you're playing in this country, when it's cold during December, and it's only going to get colder in January before spring comes, it's not easy to play. It's not easy. So that's just another thing. People need to take into consideration the temperatures and environments that people are going in, especially when we're playing away from home tomorrow. So yeah. And then you said, Philip, I just pray you win. Always. Always. And will Gusto play tomorrow? He will definitely be in the squad. If if Romeo Lavia is fit, I'd put Gusto on the bench and play Romeo Lavia and put Caicedo right back so that he can invert. But Gusto, he should be playing tomorrow. I haven't heard anything on the contrary. And you said, yo, what's wrong with you, man? Gusto is not playing, man. I don't know. I haven't even heard anything, to be honest with you, since I've come home from swimming. That I haven't been paying attention to the news. So from what I know already, he should be playing. So we'll have to wait and see tomorrow. Cause I'm not necessarily checking up on the updates right now, but we'll see. James is playing tomorrow, not Gusto. We'll see. We'll see. I did see Reece James training, taking shots and that, but I don't know if he's going to be fit for tomorrow. We'll see. And then I don't want Gusto to start. He's not good inverting. He's learning a new role. That's what he's doing. And I appreciate you guys doing this in the comments. Love for that, Nehemia and Philip. I appreciate it. But yeah, man, that's just obviously my thoughts and opinions. Again, let me just go through. The head-to-head stats again. This is the between Chelsea and Ipswich. 26 wins for Chelsea, 9 wins for Ipswich. The last 3 games, we won 7-0. The last time we played them at Stamford Bridge, we beat them 3-1 at Stamford Bridge the last time, and we drew 0-0. We can't afford to draw. We need to win. They have won 1 of their last 5 Premier League games. We have to win this game. cannot afford it, especially when we literally dropped points in the last two. We must get this W. We must get this W. We have to. So I just hope the man them do it. Obviously, that is the head-to-head stats. This is again the match facts going into the match. So again, these are some facts that can get broken. So Ipswich have won just one of their last 14 league games against Chelsea. Chelsea have played more Premier League away games without ever winning against Ipswich than they have versus any other opponent. Though 4 of their 5 visits to Portman Road have finished level, but we've lost once. Ipswich are unbeaten in their final league game in each of the last 4 calendar years, winning twice, drawing twice. They've won their last 2 such games in the Premier League, beating Spurs 3-0 in 2000 and Sunderland 5-0 in 2001. It doesn't matter what time of the year or decade it is, we will always be better than Spurs. This ain't happening, and that ain't happening. 2000 and 2001, we are in 2024, about to go into 2025. This is a different scenario. The teams that they were playing beforehand were not a part of the John Terry, Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard, Pep, check era. No. And now we are trying to get back to those kind of levels, go back to competing for the biggest honors, winning the biggest trophies. This is what we need. And we have to win tomorrow. All of these kind of things, the only thing that needs to stay intact is that Ipswich have won just one of their last 14 league games against Chelsea. This is this thing that can't change. We have to win tomorrow, and we better not draw. I'm not having the draw. It'll be jarring to see us draw. The only way I'm taking it is if somehow Arsenal drop points, because then the other teams are not necessarily too in front of us. So, yeah, man, that's just obviously from the Ipswich side of things. This is some more match facts going into the match. So, like I said, Chelsea are unbeaten in their final league game in each of the last 12 calendar years, winning 8, drawing 4, since a 3-1 home loss to Aston Villa on New Year's Eve 2011. We win the majority of our games on the last day of the calendar year, winning 8, drawing 4, haven't lost since 2011, and that was at home against Aston Villa. So, yeah, man. And even then, the 2011-2012 season was not a good season. We did win the Champions League in that season, but we finished 6th. And at that point, that was our worst Premier League finish with having Lampard, Drogba, Cech, and all of the other greats. So that was that blip. We are on better things right now. And then again, Chelsea are unbeaten on all 5 occasions when they faced a promoted side in their final league game of a calendar year, winning 4, drawing once. Though the only time they failed to win was a 2-2 draw at Ipswich in 2000. This is the 3rd consecutive year they finished with such a match. 2-0 versus Bournemouth and 3-2 versus Luton last year. Last year, we came close to dropping points. We were 3-0 up and Luton nearly came back. We need to make sure that defensively we are calm. But personally speaking, we are much better defensively this season than we were last season. And I expect us to get another win. This will be the 3rd year in a row that we've faced a newly promoted side. We have to get a W. Have to. Must get it. And like I said there, the only time we failed to win was a 2-2 draw in 2000 on the last 5 occasions where we've played a promoted side in the Premier League. So we need to change that. We need to win tomorrow. Everything relies on the win. 3 points is a must. Is a must because Nottingham Forest have won. Liverpool are going to win today. Arsenal most likely are going to win their game. We need to win this match to not only keep us in talks with these kind of teams, but to make sure that we don't fall behind and be starting to be drawn into things talking about Newcastle and Bournemouth. Forget all of that. Can't be happening. So that is the Premier League match facts, courtesy of One Football. It's a good app. So you guys check that out. And then again, this is well, I've already showed you the predicted XI, but let me show you one more time. Predicted XI. This is the XI that I think will happen. We'll wait and see. If Reece James is fit, that would be brilliant. But I don't think. If we start him, I'm not going to be fussed. I just don't. I actually need more defensive cover. We need to be better defensively, and Reece James will be offering a lot more defensively solid than Malo Gusto. and Kukurea can invert as well, so that would be good. But this right-hand side is the weakest link for us in tomorrow's game. If this is the right-hand side for us, we need to make sure that these men are doing their utmost. So, but yeah, that's my predicted XI. If somehow Lavia is fit, I don't know if he is at this point in time, but if he is fit, this is what I would go with. Again, this is what I would go with. Caicedo will be the change with Gusto so that Lavia can go into midfield and so that Caicedo and Lavia can be in the pivot. Enzo can move up there. So that's just for me. That would be the best kind of team that we'd have. But if Reece James is fit, can play tomorrow, then that's calm. But we'll wait and see. I don't necessarily think that'll be the case, but yeah, man, let's just wait and see. But that is my predicted exercise. That was head stats. That was the match facts. And again, I'm going to tell you my score prediction for the game. A 2-0 score prediction for this match. That is my feeling going into this game. I think we will win 2-0. I hope that we win at least 2-0. Please, we have to get a dub. Please. Must get it. You guys let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. If you want to comment after this summit is finished and still do your match, still try to get a shout out in the review, feel free to drop it down below once this is finished. But if the game happens and you try to do it, you're not gonna get a shout out. So yeah, man. And Maresca shouldn't copy Pep style, in my opinion. Maresca should stop in Kunku as striker, Abemagu or Felix up front. I'll be real to you, man. You know what it is? Felix can't play up front. I'm not putting him up front. Mark Gu, when we were winning our games, was anyone talking about Mark Gu? No. But because we're dropping points, people are saying, oh, panicking stations. Let's change everything. Panicking. We weren't talking about Mark Gu this time last month. We weren't. But all because he was scoring goals in the Conference League. Like, fair enough, he's a good talent. But Nkunku needs to come on. And the only reason why he gets put up front again is because Maresca wants Nkunku to play. He deserves to play, especially because he was our best player during preseason. Felix didn't want even here during preseason. Felix, for me, is only here because of the board. Maresca doesn't really rate him like that. He doesn't. So that's not going to happen. And Nkunku will most likely not start. If he does start, that's going to be interesting. But again, he gets put in the striker role. Why? Because he needs to play. Cole Palmer is not coming off at any point. He's not coming off. So people need to affirm that. And that's why Felix won't get much game time unless he's playing on the left-hand side. But then it's about what are you doing defensively? Are you that good defensively? Because you need to be good off the ball as well as on it. We're not trying to be a team that's mid-table. We're not trying to be a team that's top 6. We need to be a team that's in the top 4 and then pushing to be eventually be title challengers. You need to be covering your bases defensively and attacking-wise. You need to do that. And even in the Conference League, he misses a lot of chances as well. So, yeah, man. Like, you can say that Nkunku's not good up front, but Felix, he misses more chances than Nkunku would. You know, Nkunku has missed chances, but what person scores all their chances? Unless you're an 11-a-side player in the Sunday League, you might do it then. But in this professional mindset, Premier League, you're not going to be scoring every single chance that you have. So, personally speaking, Mark Gu, Felix up front, not going to be happening. If it does, then it is what it is. Because like I've been saying, I trust Enzo Maresca. I trust him full-heartedly. So people need to believe in him, believe in the tactics, and believe in everything that he's done. So yeah, man, just make sure to believe in him. But I appreciate your comment in the email. Thank you again for that. And remember, this is the time that Chelsea will play tomorrow. Yeah, we do play tomorrow. My fault. We do play tomorrow. This is our god damn. Remember that I swear I had this thing open though, man. This was trying. Yeah. What is this? Thing takes years. This is what happens when you have a laptop, you know. One of these days. This one saying man does all this with a laptop. But yeah, remember, just go into again. This is load my G. Remember, so yeah, this is will be happening. This is the time the match will be happening. So tomorrow, 7:45 kickoff. I know earlier I said 3, my fault. But yeah, 7:45 kickoff at Portman Road, 30th of December 2024, match day 19, our last Premier League game in 2024. Let's get this dub. You guys let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Thank you. Remember, that is it. Watch Long starts at 6:45 as well. Make sure to stay tuned for that. And as well as that, thank you for your support on this on this match preview. I will be going again live tomorrow to the watch along and going again live already. We're going again live again to do the match review for the game against Ipswich. Hopefully it's another dub against these man. Can't afford for them to get points off us. No chance. So yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Again, love your support on the match preview. And I will see you tomorrow. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Facebook for more Chelsea content. I'm CFC Red Blue, and I'm out. Peace. Come on, Chelsea. Come on, Chelsea. Again, thank you for your support and thank you for your votes on the poll. I don't even know if we had any Q&A. My fault. I need to check if we had any Q&A questions. I don't think so. Nope, no Q&A questions there. So that's cool. We had 7 votes in the poll. Everyone thinks Chelsea could finish in the top 4. Love that, man. Love that. But again, thank you for your support. I'll catch you tomorrow. Enjoy the last Sunday of 2024. And again, thank you for your support. And remember, 2025, big things are coming, man. Stay tuned for it. So yeah, in a bit, my people, them. Love. Come on, Chelsea. Come on, Chelsea.